respected Honorary Secretary, Dr. Mahanandi N. Suresh, the President, B.R. Vishwanath Sethi, Principal and the Academic Director, Dr. G. Srilatha Madam, the department heads, all the teachers, and the students who have gathered for this induction. Am I audible clear?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. It's indeed my pleasure as well to be a part of the induction program organized by your institute for the first year diploma students. So I am, as a part of this induction, I'm to engage you for not more than 30 minutes of time for a short talk on youth and the social responsibility. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So, well, before I start the responsibility of youth, we are all first authorized. We should have the thorough knowledge of our nation. India is just not a geographical boundary. India is a nation. India is a subcontinent. Indians have contributed immensely since ages till date. The person whom you see in the first row is Mr. Bhatia, who is instrumental for the current day's email. So he is the one who found the concept of electronic mailing. So India is the only nation across globe which has launched 104 satellites in one stretch. And the defense, Indian defense, stands fifth largest across globe. The Indian origins have been ruling the world with their authoritative positions in the multinational leading companies. You'll be able to see the chiefs of Google, Microsoft, Adobe, MasterCard, Pepsi, Nokia. They're all Indian origins. So this state India has reached is not overnight. It has the ancestral legacy. So well before I could go into the session of our social responsibility, I'll just take 5 to 6 minutes to brief about our ancestral legacy. The then Navagrahas, what our ancestors have taught us to offer the puja, is the current day's 9 planets, what our modern science and technology has made us know. The concept of birth of 100 Kauravas beyond the womb is yet today a challenge for the modern day science. The various astras then are the present days bombs, nuclear bombs, atomic bombs. Since the post-COVID, we are all engaged in the virtual classrooms. The virtual classrooms, if we feel they are the innovative solutions for the pandemic or innovative thought for the classes, we are wrong. The concept of virtual classes has a way back. Hello. Am I audible?
Sir, you continue, Madi.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this virtual classroom has a way back relation of Eklavya and Dronacharya. Though Dronacharya didn't teach Eklavya the art of archery standing before him, but Eklavya learned it virtually. The concept of floating bridges now is the then concept what we did see in the form of Ramasetu. The current days Vibgayar, when the light is passed through a prism, it distracts itself into 7 different colors, can be tallied with the Suryadev. The rays coming from the sun will pass through his charioteer. If we consider charioteer as a prism, we can see 7 different horses. This is how we can relate the goddess Surya with the Vibgaya technology or Vibgaya science.
Hello?
The Dashawataras of then are now the theory of evolution of life. We can see the first avatara from the water, that is Matsya Avatara, till the Kalki Avatara. There is a gradual development of the stages from aquatic to amphibian to land to nomad to stone age. So gradually we have reached the societal stage. This is what Dashavatara tells us, and the same thing is now learnt by us in the name of theory of evolution of life by Darwin. The Pushpaka Vimanas then, or any other Vimanas then, are the current days flights. We were pioneers in shipbuilding and navigation. We were first to preach and learn through our Puranas that Earth is round. We also call Earth as Jagat. We also study Earth in the name Bhugol. It means our ancestors were so much far ahead than the rest of the globe that without using any technical aid, they used to say the Earth is round, Bhugol, and they also said the Earth has some motion. That is why it is called Jagat, the one which has some gati, Jagat. And it is the Hanuman Chalisa which till date has actually measured the distance from sun to the earth. As well, we were so much expert in the field of metallurgy. You can see the iron pillars at Qutub Minar and Marikama temple. They are several centuries old, and yet this day they are rust free. We were pioneered in the field of jewelry, metallurgy, in the field of architecture, in the field of medicine, in the field of spices. And India was then the global hub of universities. Students across globe used to enter our nation to have their higher education done here. But this also has attracted the evil powers towards us. Many of the conquerors were so much jealous about our nation that India faced n number of foreign invasions. If you go back to history, it is some 1,000-year-olds. It has the history of invasion of 1,000-year-old. So right from Mughals till the French, Portuguese, Dutch, and British, we were ruled by the foreigners for a period of 1,000-odd years. And the foreigners were not satisfied even by their invasion. They started dividing us. They divided us in the name of dharma, in the name of caste, in the name of language, and in the name of any other boundaries. So later on, by the year 1947, India lost its part, right, with the basis on the basis of the religion bifurcation. So even post-independence, the foreign thoughts did not leave us. So since independence till date, we are mostly taught the history of defeat. Right from our history, we haven't learned the glory of our nation, the excellent kingdoms, or the best rulers who ruled us. Instead, we are repeatedly taught how our kings lost the war, how our united efforts gone in vain. So this history of defeat has inculcated in us, and till date, many people were having their education done just to join some services either at the government sector or at the private sector. So this is the same trend of slavery which has been with us from 1,000 years till now. So even today, I do not know, many of you may still be here with the thought of soon after my graduation I'll be able to join a service at the government sector or at the private sector. So this is the extended version of that slavery. Idana ನಾವು ಗುಲಾಮಗಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು. The person, though may be at a various cadre at the government, he is by and large called as a government servant. He is a servant. But thanks to the new education policy, which has now come with the glorious sect of Indian traditions, the age-old Gurukula system of education has now come up with a new code of national education policy. So from now onwards, till the forthcoming 20 years, new education policy is expected to modernize our thoughts with the glory of our ancestral legacy. So now the population is no more a burden. Population can now be treated as a resource. So with all this base, we all have some social responsibility. The age, the point, what you have reached here, right from your school fees, from your bus pass, from the subsidies, right from cylinder to the ration, and from your daily travel. So many of the things have been subsidized. Where does this subsidy come from? Subsidy comes from the government. How can government subsidize? Government subsidizes by the hard-earned money which is paid as the tax by every individual. So for our every living day, since birth till, we have the debt, or we do carry the debt from the society. This is what I call the social responsibility. So we have taken so much so from the society, from in various other forms. So it is our primary duty to return it. So this is what I call the social responsibility. So this is the point. Henceforth, I'll just brief on the current youth and their social responsibility. Now, the responsibility can be very simply a thought. So every problem can be your opportunity. Every problem is a source for a new startup. And there is no problem in the globe which has no solution. You can see the image number one. Image one. That is a very simple thought. Very simple thought. There is no technology, there is no science involved. It is just a common sense. A hepatic person who was unable to sleep comfortably over a bench has given a support, and he made his sleep comfortable. So this is a very simple thought which have added some value. And the next picture, what you are able to see, even we see, even till date, there are many villages who are deprived from the facility of water. Women, men do carry water on their head tops, or through the camels, through the carts. So many such means. That is a huge burden to make the water reach from its source to the source of it, to the point of its utility. So this is a simple thought wherein the same barrels were fixed, the bearings at the side, and several gallons of liters women, children were able to carry several kilometers from point of its availability to their home. The second or first image, it is a very simple strategy, or a very simple mechanic, wherein the laborer classes who carry the load on their head, either in the building the structures, or building the bridges, or building the roads, or in any civil aspects. This is a simple mechanism made out of bamboo. So this is a simple mechanism will transfer the load right on their shoulders, not on the head. So thereby, the long run, these laborer classes will not have any injuries in their head or the neck portion. So again, this is a simple thought which can bring in happiness, or which can bring in smile in many labor class. And the next image, what you see, is a briefcase. We all frequently travel. We all know if our travel time is too much high, if we plan for a fortnight or a month of travel, then we'll be having good amount of luggages, and they'll be heavy to lift. Just a simple thought: if these heavy luggages are given the wheel basis, so any weight is never a trouble. One can easily carry without any burden. So these are all the very simple thoughts which can, and which have now revolutionized. The next image, what you see, is a standing chair. This is, once again, you can use any of your material. I hope even the second or the final year students are present for this gathering?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So then you might have already come across the strength of materials, wherein you will be studied, you will have studied, or you will be studying about various materials, their arrangements and their properties. So with the application of your simple thought of strength of material, you can use even bamboo to convert your pant as your chair. This is just a standing chair or a walking chair, which can be just a part of your pant. So they will be worn within the pant, but for a depiction, they are worn out now. Now again, if there are any mechanical students or the automobile students at your institute, the first image is the shock absorber. I hope everybody is aware of the shock absorber. Shock absorbers will be there for all the vehicles, right from two-wheelers to the multi-wheelers. Shock absorbers. So here, so by and large, the light motor vehicles will have the spring suspensions as the shock absorbers, and the heavy motor vehicles will have the axle setup for the shock absorbing. But here, the image one, it is a shock absorber made of the magnets. It is a well-known principle that unlike poles of the magnet attract and the like poles deflect. So with this simple application of science, so when you club the same poles of the magnet one over the other, that will function as a suspension. So this is set up. If we can apply it for any of the two-wheelers, so then such of the two-wheelers will be having the shock absorbers without any spring attached. So this can have a longer life, and there is no problem of the absorbers facing the rust. And the next image, it is again a very simple thought. The places where the ambulance cannot reach, just a simple attachment for a two-wheeler can turn the mobile ambulance over a bike. And the next image, the first image at the second row, it is a washing machine, but it has no electricity imbibed. It is a washing machine which is run by the human pedaling. So the places where it is very much difficult to get the electricity, and to ease the process of washing as well, for your morning exercise, all these functions can be done by this simple arrangement called the pedaled washing machine, which runs only on the human power. And again, we are all aware of these walking gates either for the disabled or for the operated. So these walking gates will have the legs of equal length, so that the people will be comfortable and will have ease to walk on the natural grounds. While the same people face difficulty while they climb up or climb down the stair. So this simple arrangement in this walking gate can help them easily climb up and climb down the stairs. The next image, every now and then we see the threat for the nation from the neighboring countries. So we are all aware how hard the soldiers spend to defend our nation. So they will have to stay in the battlefield for the safety of all of us. They will have to carry good amount of luggage for as their food. They will have to carry good amount of luggage as the weapons. So the tendency or a capacity of a human goes down when the quantum of luggage increases and the quantum of travel time increases. So there came the thought wherein the exoskeletons come into force. So the first image at the third row is the exoskeleton, where you will be able to see the soldier who can function over and above his power, because lot of the load will be taken by this exoskeleton. So next image you can see is the ground cleaner. If you want to clean the floor, just cycle. The cycle with the attachment of the broom at its front end and attachment of the vacuum at the middle and the back end, it can simply clean the ground without any effort. So again, this is a folding cycle. This is also an innovation. Though this is not a new technology, this is also a innovation, wherein there is a saying, I think I might have already told you this fact, that even the dog from Bangalore, Delhi, or any other metros will wave its tail vertically up and down, because even the dog doesn't find a space to wave its tail horizontally. So this is the constraint of space in many of the metros. Did you follow did you all follow the joke what I told?
Yes, sir.
ಆನೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಾಯಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ತನ್ನ ಬಾಲನ ಎಡಗಡೆ ಬಲಗಡೆಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡ್ಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗದಿರೋಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ. So that is why even the dog waves its tail up and down. So in such of the constrained spaces, these techniques can work a lot. Again, this is a simple task of getting the light. So what is used? The zones where the electricity is deprived, or the zones where electricity hasn't reached it, or any such slums where there is no space for electricity or the lights. The simple waste plastic bottles filled with water, when they are fixed at the ceilings, what happens when the light passes through water? May I know any may I ask any of the students to answer it? What happens when the light passes through water? Any
Sir,
answer?
it refracts.
Filled with water when they are fixed at the
Reflects, sir.
yes.
Sir, the voice is not here. Sir, it reflects, sir.
Fine, madam. Thank you. So whenever the light passes through the water, it scatters, it refracts, it scatters. So when you fill the plastic bottle with water and fix it at the ceiling, the sunlight scatters and it paves the way for light for the locations which are underneath. So this is a simple thought. Again, the same waste plastic bottles can be used as a source. This is one such example where the waste plastic bottles have been utilized to build a temporary storage or a compound wall or any such things. So nothing in this globe is waste. Even you can test it, the waste which is there in your dustbin, and if the dustbins are not emptied on the regular basis, the content in the dustbin can be of your use, even if you keep it for a week or a fortnight of time. So you can find many things usable even in the waste. So this is one such example. And to add much more, we are all the engineering fraternity. You all have studied science. Now you are in the engineering domain. And may I know what is the difference between science, engineering, and technology? Anybody amongst the student groups? What is science? What is engineering? What is technology?
Raise your hand, you can answer. Anybody?
Okay then I'll tell. Science is an agency of proof. Science is the principle. Science lays the principle and it will support all its principle with a proof. And engineering, it is the application of science. And technology, it is the application of engineering. I'll tell you an example. Water changes its stage with a change in temperature. Ice turns into water due to heat, and water turns into vapor due to heat. So this is science. If we can utilize this variation of the state of water with the variation of temperature, this thought itself is what we call engineering. So with this thought, what came then were the steam engines. The steam engines were the water was heated to its steam, and the same steam was utilized to run the engine. So there, now it is the diesel powered railway engines. Then were the water powered steam engines. So this is how, this is difference between science, engineering, and technology. So science is the principle, engineering is the process of application of principle, and the product what comes out of this principle is the technology. So you are now into the diploma engineering. So you should come out with any of such technologies which are before your eyes now. So again, the farmers who do not, or who are not in a position to afford for a tractor, for them their two-wheeler can be the aid with your engineering skill. The same person is tilling the ground with his two-wheeler, and the same person is removing the weeds as well, is or he is maintaining his field. And the first image at the second row, it is the cycle pedal powered water pump. So this pump does not require any water. This is just the application part what I'm telling. Even you can think on the similar grounds. Since many of you, since the program is conducted for the first years, you will have 2 more years to study your diploma. So if you start thinking right from this day, by the time you reach your final semester of your diploma, you can come out with many such inventions, or they may sometimes be called as discoveries. If not by you, the age-old findings can be called as discoveries, and the new findings can be called as the inventions. And the next image is the wind-powered water pump. Like the cycle ambulance, this is a like the bike ambulance, this is the bike rickshaw to carry the cylinders. And you know, electricity can be generated by any means. May I know few means of generating the electricity? Any students, either first year, second year, or the final years? So electricity is generated by?
I think they are all muted by the administration.
Like the bike ambulance,
Wind.
rickshaw. Wind.
Water.
Water.
Waves of the water, sea, ocean.
Fine. Thank you. So there are many such sources. So water in the form of waves, if we utilize its energy, it is for the tidal power. If we construct a dam and converts the potential energy to the kinetic, it is called hydropower. If we utilize the coal and then generate the energy, it is called thermal power. And if we utilize the heat from the underneath of the ground and we generate the power, it is called geothermal. So there are many such avenues to generate the power. So recently, in the recent decade or so, solar power has come into picture. So likewise is this wind power, wherein windmills, you might have seen the tall windmills in the open grounds or on the top of the mountains, which will continuously rotate their blades with the blowing wind. So they will also generate the power. Now, how about getting the wind powered electricity on the flat grounds where there are no mountains, where there are no frequent wind blows? So then for that, this is one such thought, wherein every highways are now renewed. They are minimum 3-lane or to 8-lane roads are now available as the highways for national and the state. So these highways will be always accompanying the transportation. So any vehicle passing by will lead to the generation of, or will lead to the movement of the air molecules. So these molecules, when they rush out, they turn into the wind. So the same wind can be utilized to turn these panels. The first image what you see here, it is the wind powered arrangement for the roads. So again, this image what you see here, this is the vertical rotary and this is the horizontal rotary. So this is the prototype model, what is made at the lab scale. What you see here at the base, this is the prototype model, wherein every movement of the vehicle will induce the air, and this air will strike these panels. what I think you will be all able to see the fan-like structures at the center with the blades. So these will rotate and then generate the current. I hope at your high school level you are aware of the generation of current. Can anyone tell me brief how the current is produced? Cycle dynamo. If you can remember, fine. Okay. Let's not bother it too much. So there is a motion when the magnetic flux is disturbed by a copper, or when the copper flux is disturbed by a magnet, there induces the current. This is how the current is generated. The same mechanism can be applied for the wind energy here. Now here, what you see here, it is the technique which has been into action from past half a decade. Have you all seen the speed breakers on the road? Anybody?
Yes,
Have
sir.
you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir.
Again, the principle of science. When will a body be heavy? When it is moving or when it is stationary?
When it is stationary.
Okay. So when the vehicle is not in motion, it will be heavy. When the vehicle is in motion, its weight reduces. So as and when a vehicle encounters a speed breaker, the speed slows down and the vehicle enhances its mass. So by this time, the load from the tire, if it is transferred to this arrangement here, so this arrangement will compress as and when it gets the weight, and it will relax as and when the weight moves away. So this compression and relaxation of this arrangement at the base leads to the generation of electricity. So the same thing can be found here. So this is what we see. This is a open platform wherein the arrangement what was here, the same arrangement is kept here. Every person walking by, if he steps on here, his weight from feet will be transferred at the base here, and when he moves away, the relaxation of the spring happens. So every compaction and the relaxation of this spring leads to the current. Even if you simply walk on the floor, you will be adding to the electricity. Again, this is age-old technique, but yet this day it has not taken so much of boost. We can generate electricity even from the degradation of the biomass. Even we can. So this is the simple technique. Any flowing water can be the aid of your electricity generation. And this is a technique. It is still in the stage of research. What is the principle of energy? Can you recall your high school science or physics? There is a standard definition in science. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but is anyone to add to it? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but no answer. Fine. Energy can neither be created.
Transferred to another energy.
Yes. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be converted from one to the other form. So likewise, the energy in the form of sound can also be converted into electricity. We are all fond of speaking, is it not? We speak in class, we speak in the open ground, we speak everywhere. So what if we devise an instrument which convert all our sound energy into electricity, then we Indians are good at speaking, but not on stage, but we are good at speaking. So now ಸರ್ಕಾರನ ಬೈದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ನ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಸರ್ಕಾರನ ಹೊಗಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ನ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So this is one such thought. So as of now there is no much progress. So this chance can be anybody amongst you. You can devise a machine which can convert sound into current, so then it will be an immense contribution. So now in another 4 to 5 slides I'll be letting you very few examples what have actually been done at the same polytechnic level. So these are the images of BLD Polytechnic Vijaypur, wherein they have made a fountain at the entrance, at their college entrance, and this uh, uh, this is a solar powered fountain. All the manpower, including the technology input, has been done by the students of the final semester. So the students of civil engineering and electrical engineering have clubbed together, and they were given. They did propose for a fountain. They did propose a detailed project report, and the management of BLD of Vijaypur, they made them available with the solar panels and the water pump. So next, all the manual labor, just with the assistance here and there from the laborers, rest was all managed by the students of the final year civil engineering and electrical engineering. So it is their effort. So the effort of civil and mechanical engineering students has contributed 8 lakh worth asset for BLD Polytechnic. So this is stage one. Stage one was the excavation, where this is not done by the students. This excavation was done by the laborers. Then with the aid of here and there, wherever required, with the aid of the laborers, all the students of civil engineering were able to build with all the application of their materials, bond arrangement of bricks. They came to know what is the cement water ratio, how to apply, what to apply, where to apply. Then next came the role of the electrical engineers. These students, they implanted the motor, they fixed the water, they fixed the fountains, and later on, this was the pre-final stage. And soon after its completion, this was the final stage of the work, which was solely executed by the students. So this is how it is now looking. So this is the same students which have as well arranged the solar panels on their college top. It is from these solar panels the pump or the fountain operates. Again, this is another simple contribution. What I told, all this is our social responsibility. In my earlier slides, I have already told we carry too much debt from the surrounding, from the society. Every individual residing in the society has paid his money for our education, directly or indirectly, but we are not aware. What we receive in the form of subsidy is a contribution from the society. So this is the opportunity for you all to give it back. So these are the few examples from the Government Polytechnic Belagavi, where the students have built 132 toilets with the joint collaboration with the Gram Panchayat and this. The materials to construct the toilet were supplied by the Gram Panchayat, and construction and assembly of all the materials were made by the students of that Belagavi Polytechnic. So this is also an opportunity like this. You can also try in. So again, there is a polytechnic, Government Polytechnic Chintamani, wherein the students of the final year mechanical engineering, they devised a simple device not worth beyond 2,000, which can help a small farmer to plow his field with the muscle power. Now, getting a labor is also a tough task. The students of final year of mechanical engineering, they did interview with the small farmers. They got to know their problems. Then, to minimize the problem of non-availability of the laborers, they devised this simple machine. Machine is the one which eases your work. So this simple machine is all mechanical powered. It is your muscle powered. The farmer will be using his own energy to plow the field and to remove the weeds. And the same students have devised the solar powered grass cutter. This is a very simple arrangement. Any one of you can do for your college premises. This is again the students of the first year or the second year of mechanical engineering have devised this solar powered grass cutter. Again, one such example is from Government Polytechnic Rabakavi Banhatti, wherein the students of final year electronic and communication engineering students, they have come up with a electronic helmet. Electronic helmet, they have devised it so much so that the bike can only be started when the bike rider wears a helmet. That is clause 1. And next is if the bike rider is a drunkard and he has drunk, with the blow of his breath, the bike engine goes off. So this is one such a smart helmet they have prepared for the safety. And picture 1 is the smart walk stick for the blind. So this is the app enabled blind stick. If the blind person walks with this electronic hand stick, then any problem he encounters on his way, whether it is a hole or a sheep or any of the object on his way, well before this person could reach it 6 feet well in advance, this stick starts vibrating. The person holding this stick feel the vibration and he can just deviate his route. So this is the deviation. And next thing, even if by mistake something goes wrong, and if this blind person is detached from his stick, then immediately the SMS will go for his first contact, and within seconds, within seconds after the delivery of the SMS, the call even goes to his first contact and they will be there for his immediate aid. So this is what the final year students of diploma have done. Again, this is one such simple mechanism, the solar powered aid for the farming sector. So this is a simple machine which can plow the field and it can sow the seed. This is from Raichur. So these are the earlier examples what I have given. They are all the diploma students what they have done, and these earlier examples are open for you all. This is what is done for your own seniors. So likewise, education should go beyond just the process of remembering and understanding, and it should reach to innovate and create. This is what the taxonomical study of learning says. So with these some 5 more examples, I'll be ending my talk. Have you seen this man? He is Ravindra Baiju. Baiju's, I think it is all known to everyone. Baiju's is a learning app. This Ravindran faced the difficulties during his studies. He was not able to opt for a private tuition, and as well he was not able to meet the good teachers for getting his doubts cleared. So this simple problem what he faced, I told earlier, every problem can make you the entrepreneur. So every problem comes out with a solution, and every problem will open up a new avenue for you to glow up. So this simple problem what he faced has made him to come up with a app called Byju's. So this simple thought is now 72 billion worth. This is again from Bangalore. So many of these examples what I'm giving here are Bangalore based. Bangalore, I think in my last meet also I have told, Koramangala is such. Koramangala of your own city now is the hub of the startup, and this is Vivekananda Halalkere. He is the co-founder of Bounce Bikes. The problem what he faced in Bangalore was he was every time stuck in traffic when he was moving with a 4-wheeler. So he then felt, like me, many of the people might have lost their meetings, might have lost their business just because of the traffic hurdles. So this simple thought came into his mind, and he came up with the bikes called Bounce. The Bounce bike, take anywhere, park anywhere is their slogan. So just with this Bounce bike, he started off renting the bikes. So this is now $72 million worth asset. So Oyo is of Ritesh Agarwal. This he is not the person of Bangalore base. So this is again his thought. Madam, What is the time available for me? Shall I take 5 to 6 minutes more?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Oh, okay. So Ritesh Agarwal was the son of a businessman. Usually, the people who run a business, they will always think twice, thrice before they spend anything. So when his father was to send him to Delhi for any of the business-related works, Ritesh Agarwal used to stay in the cheap hotels just to save money. And likewise, every avenues or every arrangement there at the hotel are based on the charges they lay on. So cheap hotels will have the cheap avenues, and the costly hotels will have the luxury avenues. So Ritesh Agarwal wanted to save money as well to get his work done. So he every time opted for a cheap hotel, and he faced a lot of difficulties in those cheap hotels. He was not able to sleep comfortable. He was not able to have the electricity all through the day. He was not able to have at least a air cooler during the summers. You know how horrible the climate of Delhi will be during summer, and how cool it will be during the winters. So all these problems uh, uh, sparked into Ritesh Agarwal's mind, and he then thought. So every business travel from his place to Delhi, he always used to stay in the cheap hotels, and with his business thought, uh, he was renting a room for rupees 150, and he was showing the expenses of 300 for his father. So for his every Delhi visit, he was saving 150 rupees with him as the hotel charges. So later on a day came when, with his own savings of every 150 rupee per visit, he met his regular lodge or the hotel owner and asked him, with his permission, if you permit me to renovate this room, I'll be paying you your 150 rupees per head charges all through the year. The lodge owner just requires a business. He agreed, and then Ritesh Agarwal made an agreement with the lodge owner that he rented one room per year on the per year basis at 100 rupee per day basis. So then, as there was already mentioned in the agreement, Ritesh Agarwal, with his savings, he changed the floorings from the regular flooring. He changed the flooring of that room to marble, and again with his own savings, he colored all the walls with the royal paints, and then again with his savings, he provided the first time air conditioner just at the cost of 200 rupees per day. So having made all these expenses on his savings, he printed some pamphlets that the room at this lodge at Old Delhi is available 200 rupees per day, and it has the well colored royal painted walls, the marble floorings, and AC. So all these avenues will be available just at a mere cost of 200 rupees per day. Then as soon as he distributed his pamphlets, uh, a customer came in really to check what is there in the pamphlet is available in that age old lodge. Then he came in, he paid rupees 200, and he saw the room and he enjoyed it for a day. So who pays rupees 200, or who can afford you the AC room for rupees 200 per day at Delhi? So this was the customer so adopted was happy with that 200 rupee payment, and by then he this matter went on from mouth to mouth, and the publicity of this hotel reached day by day. So 150 rupee per day was the deal with the lodge owner and Ritesh Agarwal. So with his first business, Ritesh Agarwal gained how many rupees? 150 was the deal with the lodge owner and this OYO, and then the rent mentioned in the pamphlet was 200. So he earned rupees 50 as his profit. So likewise, his profit went on, and the demand for this room went on. So day by day, Ritesh Agarwal leased next room, the next room, the next room, and a day came when he leased the entire lodge for a year. Then he totally renovated, and he then started the publicity with the flexes at Old Delhi. So this hotel is available with so many avenues, with this so much cheap rate. Then people started gathering, and this lodge was always with full rush on demand. Then the nearby lodges were jealous that they are losing their business because of this boy. Then gradually they came into the close touch of Ritesh Agarwal. They started leasing their lodges. So likewise, right from Delhi, the chain of lodges started in the name of OYO. OYO is on your own. So on your own, whatever you like, you pay according to the amenities available. So this is the concept Ritesh Agarwal for the first time put forth across globe. It is now $10 billion worth business. So OYO till day does not own any of the lodges or any of the hotels on its own. It is just a child link of businesses. So likewise is this Red Bus. These three friends, they faced a problem for their home travel during Dasara and Deepavali from Bengaluru. They faced too much difficulty in getting the bus tickets finalized. They then came up with the concept of Red Bus, and Red Bus is now $110 billion worth asset. Likewise are these friends V.V. Sudhakar, Mr. Hari Menon, Vipul Parekh, Mr. Abhinay Chaudhary, and Mr. V.R. Ramesh. They came with the simple concept of delivering the groceries to your doorstep. It is now called the Big Basket, and it is now $100 billion worth asset. Same thing went with the Flipkart. Mr. Sanjay Bansal and Bini Bansal, they extended this earlier thought of Big Basket to any items from groceries till the electronics, and it came with a Flipkart, wherein the delivery of all the goods were made to your doorstep. So just in the 13-year span, Flipkart is now $6.1 billion asset. So likewise are Infosys and Wipro. So all these people, they have simply gone through the problems they faced, and that problem became the source of their entrepreneurship, and they are now the successful businessmen. So even if you people face any difficulty, or you have already faced any difficulties, so try to find the opt solution for your difficulties, and these can turn yourself into a business solution. So in such of the examples, next may be few amongst you, so that I can tell your own stories for the next whom I meet. So every problem has a solution, and every problem will be your business base. So this is where this image I have purposely made. We should touch the society with our technology. With this, I will end my talk. I once again thank the principal, the management, the department heads, and the teachers for providing me an opportunity to share few of my thoughts. And as well, I am thankful for all the students for their pleasant hearing. Thank you.